There's a change for Radford. Truth Harris starting in place of DeQuan Smith, Kenyon Giles, Brian Antoine, Chandler Turner, and Justin Archer. And the ball's in the air. The Highlanders have it. They're wearing the home whites with the red numbers and letters. And Notre Dame of Maryland wearing road light blue with navy blue trim, white numbers and letters. As Radford in their first possession, KG left wing for three, misses it. And the ball goes out of bounds off of the Gators back to Radford. For Notre Dame, they're going to start out Jackson Pugh, the point guard. Their leading scorer is a good one, Kawan Johnson. Also, Jaden Holland going to get to start, along with Jalen Yates and Jebeko DaCosta. And the Highlanders have the first 2 points of the game, and we might see a lot of that, Coldwater. The Radfords with the decisive size advantage. Yeah, Justin Archer there with 2 strong dribbles to his right shoulder and a pretty easy finish. And he's a guy that's just been, crazy efficient, shooting over 70% this year. You got to believe he's going to go off tonight. The Gators from left to right, their first possession, turn it over. As you saw the pass attempt there, Johnson trying to enter it down low to Holland. Too far out of his reach. And Truth Harris, who played so well, Cole, I know you were listening, he really gave Radford an uplift in both of the games in Cancun, coming in defensively and on the offensive end, especially against Northern Colorado. And again, he just adds to that guard depth. Coach Nichols has so many guards. He can throw out there so many different combos. Truth Harris, heck of an athlete. His 3-ball pinballed out, and the long rebound is secured by Jalen Yates for the Gators. Notre Dame of Maryland University's inaugural men's basketball season. They also have a men's soccer team. They're going to be adding baseball, cross country in 24-25. Very exciting time for Coach T.J. Jordan. And you got to think about all the stuff that goes into starting a program off the court. That's got to be a lot of stuff going through their mind there, getting this program rolling. Left wing 3 is taken and off the mark there. Radford rebounds. They get it down the floor, and Turner's going to go up and lay it in, and it's 4-0. Both of Radford's baskets have come in the paint, and they have the early lead. There you see a pretty unselfish play from Justin Archer there. He could have put it up and got some points, but he had Chandler Turner cutting, who has been another bright spot off the bench. And here's Truth on cue with a steal and a layup, and Radford has the game's first 6 points. Energy level going to be something I know Darius Nichols is looking for today. They want to cut down on turnovers. He talked about that in our radio pregame. And also they're trying to get back-to-back stops. Sets of back-to-back stops count as one. They're trying to get 10 of those in the game today. Here's a whirling shot in the lane, no good by Johnson. Rebound, though, offensively for the Gators, and the long 3 is off the mark from Jalen Yates. And Brian Antoine rebounds. 6-0 Radford, 17:24 on the clock, just getting started here on a Sunday. I'm glad to hear that turnovers is the area of focus for Coach Nichols, because, this part of the season you're trying to fine-tune the areas that you need to grow in, and Highlanders have struggled. They are negative in the assist-to-turnover ratio category, which is never a good thing, and there you see a bit of a careless pass. Yeah, that's something I think Coach Nichols is very concerned about. Here's Turner going in and scoring at the shot clock buzzer right over the outstretched arm of Yates, and it's 8-0. And, yeah, that's numbers that have to switch if Radford's going to contend in the Big South. If you look at it, the numbers are 73 assists with 95 turnovers coming into the game, and that's just not going to cut it come Big South play. Holland flips it out front to Johnson. Kawan Johnson, their leading scorer coming in at nearly 16 per game. They only got 2 on the shot clock. Here's a long 3 taken by Pugh. It's off the mark. Rebound taken by Archer. He'll scoop it out to Truth Harris, with Radford scoring the game's first 8 points at the 16-16 mark. The shading crew here, Kellen Milner, Joe Switzer, and Josh Anderson. And Truth went in, had it knocked away, but he regains and throws it out to Kenyon Giles, who had a great game against Morgan State. First game of that Cancun Challenge. Here's Antoine along the right wing. He's going to launch a long 3. He'll miss it. And the long rebound is gathered in by Yates. And here come the Gators looking for their first points. Shot fake by Yates. Goes into the lane. Got tied up by Turner. It's out of bounds. It'll go back to Notre Dame of Maryland when we come back to the Dedman Center. 15:44 to go on the clock. First media timeout. It's 8-0 Radford as you watch on ESPN Plus and listen on the Radford Sports Radio Network. There's some University.
member of our broadcast team. I'd like to wish Crystal Hubbard a belated happy Thanksgiving. Crystal, how are you? Good afternoon.
Hello, guys. Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone at home as well. Hey, I had a chance to catch up with both coaches before the game. Radford's coach, what they're focusing on today, you guys touched on it, is assist-to-turnover ratio. As you said, that's not great. 2-to-1 is what you want for an assist-to-turnover ratio, and as you said, Radford's in the negative. They also want to focus on getting boards and rebounds, but they also want to focus on staying out of the bonus in this game. Talk to Coach Jordan for the Gators, and what he wants to focus on is stopping Radford from getting those easy shots under the bucket. He doesn't want them to get those easy shots, and he also wants to focus on the boards and pushing tempo.
All right, thanks a lot, C-Hub. Appreciate that. After the timeout for Radford, Trenton Walters is on the floor along with DeAndre Pierce.
Trenton Walters is a guy that in the turnover category has actually been very good. 16 assists, 5 turnovers for the freshman on the year. Nice little play there.
Little play there on the inbound. Shot made by the Gators' Kwan Johnson. And it's 8-2. First points for Notre Dame of Maryland. Here's a long three by Antoine, the quick answer. BA has such a sweet stroke from the outside. It's now 11-2. Radford on top by 9.
Radford shot well from 3 this year, and he's one of the guys leading the way, over 40%.
Trenton Walters, by the way, 16 assists, leads the team. And there's a nice follow bucket, and there's an injury. Oh, my goodness. And looks like a knee issue there. Jabreco DaCosta is the one who scored the bucket. It's 11-4, and the young man on the floor immediately hitting the floor and writhing in pain. And Chad Hyatt went out there, our head athletic trainer, and he immediately attended to the fallen player here for the Gators. And that didn't sound good or look good. And, boy, you hate to see somebody in this kind of agony underneath the basket. As we have a break here, obviously, is Chad trying to get some information. And it's the kind of thing where we won't necessarily show it again. It looks like a right or left knee issue. And I think that is number 5, Amari Bell, underneath the Gators basket. 15:06 on the clock. 11-4 is our score. Gators did a nice job of hitting the glass that time, but Bell got tangled up amongst all the traffic, it looked like, Cole, and then hit the deck pretty hard, and now he is up, not putting a lot of weight at all on that left leg. And Chad kind of serving as the trainer for both squads here, as you see that is Coach Jordan out there with Bell, and again, didn't sound good, and you hope the young man is okay.
Yeah, just something you hate to see. Again, a team that had a lot of excitement first year. Hate to see one of the key players get injured this early into the game, and you hope that, it's not quite as severe as maybe it appeared.
So Bell going to go have a seat on the end of the bench, and he'll get looked at, but did not look very good when he went down. And that's the kind of thing we're not going to show you again. As here's Walters. I mentioned he's leading Radford with 16 assists through the first 7 games. Throws it left side to Kenyon Giles for 3. Make it 17 assists as KG rings it up. And it's 14-3. And something else, Cole, I wanted to ask you about. Kenyon Giles can score in bunches, but right now he's only shooting 26% from 3. Is that a concern, or you think it's just a matter of time he's going to start getting into the rhythm?
That's not something I'm really concerned at. When you're averaging 16 points as a small guard and not shooting over 30% from 3, you feel pretty good about that. You will take that. What he's lacked outside, he's made up for inside. And, again, he's a guy that I think as the season goes on, he'll get more confident. If he does ever get it going from outside, watch out, Big South.
Pugh with a miss in the lane. Antoine rebounds. Here's Walters for 3 left side, and he knocks it down. Trenton Walters, before that shot, Trenton was only 3 of 18 from the field. And it's 17-4, 6 minutes gone by here on a Sunday in the Dedman Center. Radford trying to go to 2-0 at home. Have not played but one other game here. That was also against the Division III squad, Eastern Mennonite. There's another offensive rebound, and the shot no good. How about 2 offensive rebounds? Good work by Notre Dame of Maryland on the glass. They just couldn't get a finish. Highlanders finally able to get it on the 3rd try. Walters going to try to go 2 for 2 from distance, and he will. Trenton Walters breaking out. And a timeout going to be called here by the Gators at the 13 35 mark. Let's see if they turn this into a full. Is it just the 30? It's just going to be a 30, so we'll keep it right here with our under 12 media timeout coming up. But the Highlanders right now on a 9-0 run.
Yeah, right there. Notre Dame was trying to transition to a zone, maybe try to keep the ball out of the paint, but they had about 3 guys playing zone, 2 guys playing man, which left Trenton Walters wide open for 3. And if you're Darius Nichols, you have to love the unselfishness so far from Radford. They're a team, Rick, that I feel like has survived a lot, and they've played well with shot making. They've made some really tough shots. It's nice to see them get a little more balance and move the ball around.
Kyle Burns, who did not play in Cancun, out onto the floor for the Highlanders. And T.J. Neesmith, I mentioned him in our radio pregame. How about that? He had 14 points, 7 rebounds. You talk about a young man who's coming into his own here, getting back into the flow after that hamstring injury. T.J. playing very well. What a great kid, too, hanging out with him in Mexico. Yeah, Buenas tardes, by the way, Cole Wilder.
Buenas noches.
Here's a long 3 by Johnson, Kawan Johnson, and it's 20-7. Yeah, good afternoon, see.
Very good, Rick.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you learned something
I did. Well, I learned a few things while I was down there. That's the one we can talk about on the air. Here's a turnover. There you go. You talked about it. And a run out here by the Gators. 3-on-2. Ball is scooped back outside. And Pierce blocks the shot attempt that time of Marquise James. Turner down the floor to Nesmith, and he gets fouled, and it'll be free throws. 20-7. But there was one of those turnovers that Darius Nichols has not been very pleased about his squad.
Yeah, it looks like Trenton Walters just kind of slipped there. One thing I do like about Walters, when he does turn it over, he's a guy that's always trying to make a play. And as a coach, you can live with a couple turnovers if somebody's being aggressive trying to get in the paint. What you can't have are the careless turnovers, which Radford has had sometimes this year. Especially in some of these close games they've lost. They've had turnovers down the stretch, which have really been painful.
T.J. Neesmith from Burlington, North Carolina, shooting a team-high 73% from the floor. He knocks down both free throws, and it's 22-7. 12:48 on the game clock here in the first half.
I think with this lineup, you're seeing what Coach Nichols can do with the depth. Right now, Radford has a very big lineup out there, but he's not afraid to throw 4 guards out there, maybe even put Chandler Turner at 5. Right now going with the bigger lineup.
A lot of dribbling out front that time by Johnson. Shot clock's at 8. Pugh drives in, flips it up with the right hand. No good. And there is Neesmith with the rebound. TJ to Walters. Nice spin move. And then the ball's taken away. A steal by Johnson, and he'll lay it in. Another turnover, an immediate bucket. And now Darius Nichols is going to call a timeout. So this will take us into the media timeout. 12:16 to go. 22-9 is our score. A couple turnovers for Radford last 3 possessions, but they still lead by 13. Stay with us. More coming up. 22-9, Radford on top. With 3 balls have been falling. 4 of 7. Highlanders being able to dial it up from distance. Trenton Walters has hit a couple of those. There's one of them from T-Dub, and here's the other one on the left elbow, wide open. Highlanders shooting overall 73%. C-Hub, what you got?
I didn't hear much from inside the huddle, but what I did hear was the word turnovers. He wants his team to stop turning the ball over. They only have 2 turnovers, but that's something, as we said, he's trying to keep a lid on and control that. That's going to become important when they play other teams as the season goes along, so it's something he really wants to keep a tight lid on throughout this game.
Notre Dame of Maryland, located in Baltimore, Maryland. Enrollment of just over 2,900, 49 males. Just went co-ed. That's why this is the first year for men's basketball. With Coach Nichols' good friend T.J. Jordan leading the charge. And there's a roll-in 3 from Chandler Turner from the right wing, and it's 25-9. The 16-point lead matches the largest.
And Chandler Turner has just really put together, some glue for this team. Radford has strong guards, strong bigs, and he's just kind of been that middle guy that's made everything click. He can shoot it from 3. He's been good from the free throw line, rebound. He kind of does it all.
3-ball missed on the other side by Johnson. Freshman from Baltimore. They want to build around him. Truth goes to the goal, missed it. The ball goes out of bounds, back to Radford. Kenyon Giles going to return for Pierce. Highlanders going a little smaller now. Entree's had some nice moments on the glass and defensively for Radford. Not a huge crowd here. The Sunday after Thanksgiving. Students are still away, and there's a nice give in the lane. Burns finds Turner, and it's 27-9.
Again, good offense. You know, ball reversal. Burns drives, gets the paint touch, drops off to Turner. That's balanced offense that you like to see.
Turner had that 17-point, 8-rebound game against Morgan State in the first contest in the Cancun Challenge. Gators in the half court. There's a 3-ball on the left side taken and a little bit short from Jalen Yates, a junior from Baltimore. Radford rebounds. Kenyon Giles with a shot fake goes into the lane, and it's poked away momentarily, but Truth Harris will respond. 10:35 on the clock, 27-9. Turner, left side, over to Burns. Back to CT. Nice entry pass to Neesmith for the finish. And TJ Neesmith looks very, very agile for a guy who's 6'9", doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a good player in there. And did you see Chandler Turner recognize that? I think you kind of hinted at it. Chandler Turner saw the matchup and pointed inside.
Yeah. Yates with a nice drive there for the Gators, and he'll shoot the first free throws of this game for Notre Dame of Maryland. Again, they're an NCAA Division III squad. They field 9 Collegiate Athletic Association sports. They play in the Colonial States Athletic Conference, CSAC, the CSAC, if you will. Notre Dame of Maryland is a private Catholic university established in 1895. So they've been around a while. And again, TJ Jordan, the head coach. He served as the head varsity's boys coach at McDonough School in Owens Mills, Maryland for 5 seasons. And his brother, Raphael Jordan, is on the staff. How much fun is that, huh, to have his brother on the staff? 1 of 2 on the line. It's 29-10.
How about that? Both coaching staffs.
Yeah.
Head coach has their brother.
Dual brothers,
Who do you trust better?
Kind of nice. Nice overplay there. Quick hands by Pugh. Ball knocked out of bounds. Talking with Cole Matthews, who's out there now, a junior guard for them. He was getting fixed up by Chad Hyde, getting his shoulder tape. He wears that long sleeve on that left shoulder because he said sometimes his shoulder will pop out. So he tries to protect it with tape and that sleeve. So that's why he's got the one sleeve on. He's not trying to make a fashion statement. Here's Harris in the lane. He'll flip it up with the right hand and score. Truth Harris is developing into quite the difference maker coming off the Radford bench, getting the start today for DeQuan Smith.
And again, much needed experience for him running the point. You know, in Big South play, there's always that time where whether it's foul trouble, somebody goes down with an injury, that you have to have somebody that gets more minutes at the point than usual.
DeJuan Gray rings it up top side for 3 from Clarksburg, Maryland. Gray, second on the team in scoring, just over 11 points, and he's their best 3-point shooter. You know, he's shooting 48% from distance coming into this game, and there's a foul against the Gators. 9:17 on the clock, 31-13, Radford on top.
Gray, a guy that is a D1 transferred from Loyola in the Patriot League, so he's got a little bit of experience.
Free throw is in the air, and it is no good from Truth Harris. Highlanders come in shooting 70% as a team from the line. Truth averaging just under 6.5 points per game. 9:17 on the clock, 31-13. Glad to have you aboard on the Radford Sports Radio Network and here on ESPN Plus today for Highlander Hoops. 1 of 2 for Truth, and the lead is 19 again for Radford. Jackson Pugh with the basketball up top between the circles. Burns on him. Pugh very shifty. And the pass too low for Matthews to handle. Turnover against the Gators.
Good off-ball help there by Truth Harris. Able to jab in the lane a little bit.
Kenyon Giles from right to left brings it across for Radford. Nice feed to Archer. Left side, long 3 for Antoine is off the mark. And the rebound, a couple Highlanders were fighting for it. It was poked away by Matthews. And here's their three-point marksman. No good that time from Gray. Caught it in transition and launched, and he's capable of making that shot. Radford in transition, and Pierce is going to get a dunk. That's a nice extra pass down low again by the Highlanders, that time from Justin Archer.
That's Archer's third assist of the night. He's doing a good job drawing the double teams, making plays for his teammates.
34-13. 8:12 to go. Nice catch in the lane. Turnaround jump shot is good off the glass. Azan Sheikh puts it down. A freshman from Woodbridge. 34-15. Next whistle takes us to the under 8 media timeout. And Antoine finds Pierce. Back to BA with 15 to shoot. Hunter Castleberry on the floor for the Highlanders. He wears number 25. An illegal screen going to be called against Archer. That'll go as a turnover against Radford and take us to that under 8 media timeout. All Radford here on a Sunday, 34-15. We're back with more of our coverage here on the Radford Sports Radio Network and on ESPN+.
Alone.
Very excited talking with him for a radio pregame, leading this Notre Dame of Maryland basketball program. Coming up on our radio network, it'll be the Davis and Davis halftime report. Nathan Sparks will have our Food City scoreboard update here. We'll have you all covered with everything here, looking ahead to this interesting part of the schedule coming up for Radford, heading out of November into December.
A little bit of zone here from Radford, a 3-2.
Switching it up, huh? We don't see that very often from Darius Nichols. There's a long three that's in the air. My goodness gracious. Deron Gray, that was an NBA range three. He's hit 2 of those, and it's 34-18.
Nice little shot. And with that zone, you know, it's hard to tell. Maybe he's testing it out. Maybe he's just throwing something on film that now another team is going to take 15 minutes of their practice to prep for against Radford.
Giles misses a 3. Archer with the rebound. Castleberry seeing some extended time for Radford. Giles backing in on Matthews. Turnaround jumper is good for KG. And it's 36-18. Radford's outscoring them in the paint 16-4. Highlanders out of that last media timeout shooting 72%. There's a turnover. Out of bounds. The pass a little too strong for Matthews, and the Highlanders will inbound. And turnovers now even at 3. You know, that's one thing that the Gators have done well. They've protected the basketball.
They have. They've taken care of the ball. They've gotten shots. You know, I'm a little disappointed, Rick, that you didn't give me a shout-out for my quick reflexes there.
Did you make the play? I'm sorry.
I did make the play.
Really? Oh, good job. I didn't notice that. I thought maybe you'd be too worn down from all your Thanksgiving, goodies.
May need to talk to Chad Hyatt after the game.
You might need some spa time. Castleberry left elbow for 3 off the mark. Pierce with the rebound. Bounces it to Truth.
Oh.
And he missed it. And he got fouled. He was trying to just slam that home with the right hand. And he got hit on the way in, so he'll shoot 2 at the 6:14 mark, and it's 36-18.
It was nice to see his explosion there on the court. You know, I've seen it some in warm-up, shoot around, but it's nice to see it there in action. He almost brought home a highlight play there.
Reminiscent of my broadcast partner Cole Wilder when he was wearing the Radford colors. Or maybe not.
I'm trying to think of something to say there, and I have nothing except just nodding my head.
Truth, and he has been the truth. Terrific young guy. I tell you what, he's so much fun to talk to when you're just hanging around off the basketball court. And what he added to this team down in Cancun is, I think, going to be something we're going to see a lot of this season. 38-18 as we approach 6 minutes in the half. Jermaine Coger, a forward freshman, is out there now for the Gators. They have it in the half court. And a foul out front. Walters, a little too friendly.
How about that? Both teams also doing a good job defending without fouling. 6 fouls so far in the first 15 minutes of play.
Inbound here by Jermaine Coger Jr. You mentioned they're in Baltimore. They've got 5 players from Baltimore on this roster. A pretty good job of recruiting this first team, I'll tell you what, from Coach Jordan, and now we have an offensive foul going the other way. And that's what you don't want in a game like this, all of a sudden the whistles to become a factor, as David Vidor is on the floor. How about that, Cole Wilder, the youngster from Budapest, Hungary. This is his third game now.
And the games like this are good for guys who don't usually get minutes to get out there and earn some more.
Walters missed the drive. Pierce rebounded, but he got fouled by Koger. Then all of a sudden the whistles are starting to take over the game. See there, Cole, you said 5:33 on the clock.
I think the official was standing right in front of me inbounding the ball when I said that, so I take responsibility there. Oh, man. I take it. That's on me. I should have known better.
Jump hook was missed by Pierce, and Radford called for an offensive foul. All of a sudden you look up, and we have 9 total fouls called. 5 against the Gators, 4 against the Highlanders. Another player into the game for the Gators, Mike Duffy, a junior from Crownsville, Maryland. As Notre Dame of Maryland walks it up from left to right, down by 20, 38-18. Here's Duffy. Kicks it outside. 11 to shoot. Pull-up jump shot in the lane, rolls out from Pugh, and rebound secured by Radford. Vidor on the far side trying to get rid of it. And they turn it over. Or a foul going to be called. They're going to call a foul against Koger.
Just not smart there by Notre Dame. They had a good little trap there on Vidor. Didn't get the steal. Then you just have to give it up and back up.
That's the 6th, by the way. 6th foul. (38-18), and Walters turns it over. And then he reaches in and fouls. Wow, that's not a good sequence at all for Trenton.
Coach Nichols, the former point guard, is going to tell him that you don't want to compound mistakes. If you do make a mistake, you have to get back on the defensive end, be solid. It's a good learning experience there for the young freshman.
For those scoring at home, ever since Cole Wilder said only 6 fouls have been called in the half, we've had 5 fouls called in the last 2 minutes.
And again, the responsibility does lie with me. It does not lie with the players who are fouling.
No.
I recognize that.
And again, that's the last thing you want, for all these whistles to be blown in a game like this. 38-18. 4:39 to go. Here's a long 3, and it's short. That was taken and missed by...
Ooh, risky.
And almost a turnover there. Sheikth missed that long 3. Burns tries one for Radford and rolls it in. Kyle Burns gives Radford their largest lead, 23 points, 41-18.
Kyle Burns, a guy that can get hot from 3. He's definitely a shooter. I like that full court pass. I have pretty good floor vision. I didn't see who he was throwing it to there, but Castleberry was cutting.
Another 3. Good looking shot. I can tell you what, Kawan Johnson can shoot. You can just see it. He's got good rotation on that basketball. Here's Neesmith. They're going to run the point. Bring it up. But he turns it over. Johnson reached in, took it away, and laid it in. There's another turnover for Radford.
TJ Neesmith, good at many things. Running the point, not one of them.
Not one of them, yeah. 3:40 to go in the half. 41-20. I think the turnovers are up to about 5 now for Radford. Next whistle takes us to the under 4 media, and there it is on cue. That'll put Radford on the line with a 1-and-1. Kenyon Giles when we come back. 3:29 to go. It's 41-20. All Highlanders on a Sunday here on the Radford Sports Radio Network and on ESPN+. 5 turnovers. Cole, Radford's committed 1 more turnover than Notre Dame of Maryland. That's not going to make Darius Nichols pleased at all.
And again, several of them are just careless plays. Again, like I said earlier, you can live with the aggressive one where players attack, and you can't just have passive turnovers. Another thing that, maybe I'm overthinking, it seems like it's been a trend throughout the year, are illegal screen turnovers.
Yeah,
We've seen a lot of those.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
a
been
lot
one or two
more.
a game.
That's the new rule this year.
Oh.
Crystal Hubbard was over there near the Radford huddle. No? Okay. Well, we know the turnovers, as Crystal mentioned earlier, right? The turnovers are the thing today. It is something, and Cole, you pointed out the numbers. I mean, it has to improve for Radford, that assist ratio to turnovers, and there's some careless play. Sometimes you're just a little careless with the basketball, maybe trying to do too much, things like that.
What I can tell you guys from the huddle is Coach Nichols is very animated. He is not happy with the play of his team as of recently. As you saw, they had a couple of really quick turnovers, little miscommunications happening there as well, some breakdowns. So obviously, that's not the kind of program he's trying to run. So he was definitely animated in that huddle, trying to get his guys fired up and focused.
Yeah, there's more things about this game today than the actual game. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, it's 43-20, so the score is not the issue. But what are they doing in terms of falling into bad patterns or creating more positive patterns? They had goals set within the game. We'll talk to him about it during the post-game radio. But Highlanders with the rebound on the Gators miss. And there's a ball that's turned over again. There's number 6 already for Radford.
And then to compound the turnover problem, Radford has not forced a lot of turnovers this year. They're only forcing 10 a game. Mm-hmm. And if you're a team that forces a lot of turnovers, you play quick, maybe you can afford a little bit more. And Radford's pace has been pretty slow this year, one of the slowest in the nation.
Good ball movement here by the Gators in the half court. Pugh throws it over on the right side. Nice shot fake there by Johnson, and he misses the jumper. Their leading scorer, Quan Johnson. On the other side, a long three is good by Kenyon Giles. This is now the largest lead for Radford, 46-20 with 2.5 minutes.
Talked about his three-point percentage earlier in the game. Again, this type of situation is a time that he can get some good looks from three and get some confidence that'll flow over.
Johnson top side, got fouled by Nesmith. And he scored a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play at the 2:14 mark. P.J. Nesmith, he got out there and just kind of got him on the arm. I'll tell you, the one thing I'm impressed with, the Gators, you can tell how well coached they are. They've had good spacing. They make extra passes. They don't rush a lot of bad shots. We're not seeing them do a lot of things wrong on the floor.
If you think about even the teams that hit the transfer portal super hard, they always have at least 1 or 2, 3 returners. This is a brand new team, so a lot goes into that. You are teaching your whole system from start. Usually you have maybe a senior leader that, even if it's just in practice, can help put things together.
Nice alley-oop, Giles to Archer, who finished. Height advantage decisively in favor of Radford. Minute 52 to go, 48-23. Quan Johnson, little elbow jumper, no good. Pierce with the rebound for Radford, scoops it outside to Kenyon Giles. And Giles from behind nearly had it taken away by Pugh, regains, and Pierce will go in and shoot a couple free throws with a minute 32 to go. All right, Crystal, what you got for us while Pierce settles in on the line here?
Well, at the beginning of the game, we talked about Coach looking at assist turnovers and things like that. Right now, Radford's assists are now at 10. Their turnovers are up to 6, and they talked about staying out of the bonus. Right now, Radford has 6 fouls, so they're just missing that. They only have a minute and 32 to go to stay out of that for this half, but Radford kind of trending upward and kind of outside of what their goals were as they started the game.
Rick, I hope if Radford fouls, you give her as hard of a time as you just gave me previously.
The fact that you said there were 6 fouls the whole half, and then there were 6 fouls called in 3 minutes, I don't think she's going to have that kind of time. 50-23. Nice job by DeAndre to knock down the free throws. All right, so C-Hub just gave us that. Let's watch now and see if Radford can finish off the last 90 seconds without picking up that 7th foul. Here's Holland out front to Pugh. They've got 10 to shoot. Try to defend without fouling. They've got it down to 5. Pugh's going to have to keep it. Goes in on Turner, goes to the goal, misses. Rebound in the lane, shot clock violation. It'll go to Radford, a minute 1. All right, so there's the first offensive possession. and no seventh foul.
And in all seriousness, that is an important game situation that they will face at some point in conference play. You know, it gets down to the wire, and the opposing team knows that if they attack and they draw a foul, they're on the line. So you do have to be able to defend without fouling at all times, but certainly in late game situations.
15 to shoot, 46 seconds in the half, 50-23. Kenyon Giles crosses over out front, now pulls up for three, and he missed it. Rebound taken by the Gators. Johnson speeds down the floor, goes into the lane. Scoop shot is up and off, and Pierce rebounds. So the Highlanders are going to get through this without that seventh foul. As they rebound, they're going to hold it for one, leading by 27 points. Crystal's going to go over and grab Coach Nichols before we head into our break here on ESPN Plus and on the Radford Sports Radio Network. 10 seconds, shot clock is off. Kenyon Giles at the top of the circle, crossing over. Let's see what they come up with here. He's going to keep it himself, flip it up from the elbow, miss it, and that's going to do it. Highlanders have a big lead, 50-23, but it's going to be interesting to hear what Coach Nichols has to say to Crystal Hubbard as she will meet him coming off the floor. 27-point lead before the break. Here is Crystal with head coach Darius Nichols. Crystal, go ahead.
Coach Nichols, coming into this game, we knew that score isn't necessarily going to be your focus. There are other focuses that your team had for this game. Can you tell us a little bit about how you feel like you guys are trending in this game according to the focuses that you set forth before you guys started playing?
I feel like we don't have enough stops. When we're on to getting our third stop, something happens. We foul, we give up a straight line drive, or we give up a three. The attention to detail on that third stop isn't good enough.
And I know that assist-to-turnover ratio is something that you guys are watching heavily, especially the turnovers. How do you think you guys have done? I know you've looked at a couple of different sets as far as teammates on the floor. How do you think you guys have done in that area?
Awful. Turning the ball over way too much. So we got to clean that up.
What's going to be your focus coming into the second half?
To hold them under 50 points for the game.
Nice. All right, Coach. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Crystal. It'll be the Gators with the basketball. They're going from right to left, wearing the light blue uniforms with the white numbers and letters trimmed in navy. The Highlanders in the home whites with the red numbers and letters, Highlanders in cursive script. First possession of the second half. Ron Gray throws it up top to Johnson. Johnson with 12 points to lead all game scorers. 10 to shoot for the Gators. Pugh into the lane, lost it up with the right hand and through. Good possession. They had that play designed. 50-25 as Radford counters from left to right.
And great possession there by the Gators. They came out with, almost got the steal, but nice little drawn-up play. Didn't work. Their counter late in the shot clock, able to get in the paint, make a play. Good. Not awful defense from the Highlanders. I thought that was just better offense.
Gators being very aggressive on the perimeter defensively. They've come out of the locker room the right way for T.J. Jordan, their head coach. He has to be very pleased. And there's a whistle as Truth Harris goes to the goal and gets fouled. Two shots coming up.
Truth Harris is the guy. He's really good when he can get a step on his defender. He can close that gap to the goal very quickly. You saw it there. He's done it to the left side and to the right side so far, so he can go both ways.
Truth now with 8 points as he knocks down the first free throw. 51-25. Next free throw is in the air, and he got that one as well. He's also a good free throw shooter. You can tell by the touch that he has on the ball.
And I feel like, did I hear you earlier in the season during a radio broadcast say that Coach Nichols shared that he's the fastest player he's coached in a while?
He said fastest player he's coached, yes. Even going back to his Florida days as an assistant. And I would concur watching him just motor around the floor with the basketball in his hands. He did in Cancun. Nice drive and a layup, a little short, but another nice setup that time by Kwan Johnson. Now he's going to fire a three, no good, and Antoine rebounds for Radford, and he had it taken away. Quick hands in the lane. Johnson goes up, and he's fouled, and right now Notre Dame and Maryland kind of out hustling Radford out of the locker room, and Johnson going for his 15th point right here on the line, and just watch them scurry around the basketball here.
Look, there's 4 guys for Notre Dame right there, and Kwan Johnson, man, he's a good player. On the previous possession, made a great pass there with the strong and one, knocks the free throw down.
52-28.
He's leading the energy right now for this team who, again, Coach Nichols wanted to see energy in the second half, and I'm not saying that the Highlander energy is not good, but Notre Dame's is just higher.
Kenyon Giles double clutches in the lane and scores. 54-48. He's got 12.
And I think it's time to officially change him on the roster to a forward. Because he is maybe, besides Justin Archer, Radford's best player inside the paint.
There's a foul away from the basketball against Radford. 54-28. Not sure exactly what was called there, but must have been a hold against the Highlanders. And those are the kind that drive you nuts in a game like this. Here's Johnson spinning, shooting over Truth, and scoring. Boy, Quan Johnson's a good-looking freshman player. 54-30.
Because, again, that was not bad defense by Truth Harris. He cut him off twice and had a hand up. Just a better shot there by Johnson.
He's got 17 points. Right at his season average through their first 3 games. Looking for their first win of the season. They play again tomorrow, their home opener, back-to-back days up in Baltimore. 7 to shoot. Here's Harris into the lane. Shot blocked in the lane by Johnson. Here come the Gators with momentum down the floor. They missed the layup. Good setup by Pugh. Radford rebounds. They lob it down and throw it away. Kenyon Giles very careless with that pass, trying to hit Archer, and the Gators will walk it across. 54-30.
Coach Nichols not happy on the defensive end. They did not get back in transition. Fortunately, Notre Dame did not finish the layup, and then you turn it over right back.
Here's a long 3, top side by Deron Gray, and he knocks it down. And it's 54-33 at the 16:52 mark, prompting Darius Nichols to have to call a timeout. Wow. The Gators have flat out outplayed Radford coming out of the locker room. It's the only way to say it. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Media timeout here. 54-33, Radford on top on the Radford Sports Radio Network and here on ESPN+. 54-33, Radford up. And boy, I bet you it was an interesting Radford huddle, Crystal Hubbard.
Yeah, it was definitely an energetic Radford huddle. Coach Nichols does allow his teams, his players to talk in the huddle, but he didn't like what they were talking about. They were kind of talking about some of the things I guess the other team is doing, and he said, hey, I don't care about what they're doing. I care about what we're doing. I care about the turnovers and the rebounding and those sorts of things that you need to shift your focus. And he doesn't love that they have those moments where they have those down moments and then have to try to rally back. He's like, we've got to stop repeating that pattern.
And an offensive foul. An illegal screen called against Radford. That's already 4 fouls against Radford here after halftime. And a chance for the Gators to get this below 20 points. 54-33.
And again, that's another turnover on either a ball screen or a dribble handoff.
Gators in the half court. And another late whistle. This official loves calling fouls against Radford in the second half. It's the same official. He's now called 3 in a row. Free throws coming for the Gators.
And there it looked like DeAndre Pierce had a clean block. I guess they're saying that Walters got him with the body beforehand.
I guess so. Quan Johnson is out there, and he misses the free throw. He's got 17 points. Johnson, again, a freshman from Baltimore. First year of this program, first season, Notre Dame of Maryland. He makes 1 of 2. He's got 18, and it's 54-34.
He's added 3 steals to that, so doing it on both ends. He's been the best player on the court for many possessions this game.
Yeah, he really has. Here's Kenyon Giles, and he gets bodied up. And, boy, it looks like the officials have decided to tighten this game up, which means we're in for a long second half. Already 6 fouls called. That's the second against the Gators as Radford inbounds.
And if you don't believe Notre Dame is confident right now, they came out with a little 2-2-1 press. They are They are attacking it. Just like Coach Nichols had the goal for his team in the second half, I think their goal is to win this half, and so far they're definitely winning the half.
Yeah, I think it has to be. You're not really worried about the game, but yeah, the half and little segments, just like Radford is. There's Giles hitting the three, 57-34. So Radford's going to hit enough shots to maintain distance. It's just a matter of who's going to do the things on those checklists.
I like seeing KG getting open threes. Again, one of the reasons his percentage. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Falling to the floor. Johnson, he's now got 20. Cue that highlight package, Brian Yohe.
That was his toughest for the game so far.
57-36.
From that angle, Rick, did he even see the basket? It almost looked like he was falling away and just threw it up there.
Here's Giles getting a lane to the goal and laying it in. 59-36. So you have 20 by Johnson, and Giles has got up to 17 points. Scoring battle, and there's another ticky-tack foul in the lane, this one on Walters, as we approach 15 minutes. And this takes us to the media timeout, so radio stations, just repeat the last break. This is the official under 16. 59-36, Radford on top by 23. We're back with more after this on a Sunday from the Dedman Center on the Radford Sports Radio Network and on ESPN+. He's been doing it inside. He's been doing it outside. You name it, he can score the basketball, and he does it with his defense as well, as it's 59-36. And possession belongs to the Gators out of that timeout. And Pugh throws it away. Oh, I was ready to make a play. That ball did not quite bounce high enough over the scores table here at half court.
I think even if that ball had got over, I don't know that you would have made that play.
I was ready. No, I was ready.
I'm worried about your wingspan.
I had pinned down. 14:45 to go, 59-36. At the under 12, we're going to have Crystal Hubbard. She got a lot of information about the relationship between Darius Nichols and T.J. Jordan. Truth left side to Kyle Burns, who misses a three, and the rebound taken away by the Gators, and they quickly get out in transition. They miss the dunk. Tomahawk attempt by DaCosta, a little short. And Harris flips it up and in. Acrobatic play by Truth Harris, and it's an and one.
And that's his thing. He's a downhill type of player. He's not going to be too shifty with the ball. He wants to make a move or two and then get to the rim.
Truth will finish that three-point play the old-fashioned way. 62-36, Radford on top. A lot of time left. 14-10 and counting. Matthews gets it up top. Sheikh, long three taken and missed by Gray. Highlanders rebound. Chandler Turner, haven't heard from him in a while. Now we do, as he splashes down to three from the left elbow. And this is the largest lead for Radford, 29 points.
I feel like Chandler Turner is just like a solid all-around player. He doesn't really make mistakes. He's in the right spot. If he's open, he's going to knock the shot down. Just a great addition to the Highlanders this year in the transfer portal.
Matthews can't score. Neesmith may have blocked that, but in any event, Radford in the half court, leading by bunch. Burns along the right elbow to TJ. Neesmith had it knocked away, regains, goes up and scores. 67-36. Well, that burst by the Gators out of the locker room has been nullified by Radford with this 10-0 run that they're in the progress of right now. It'll continue. Shot missed, the three ball by Deron Gray. Harris left side. Turner scoops it out to Burns. He misses. Rebound by Matthews.
I don't know that Burns was ready. I think he was anticipating a foul call there on the drive. Nice drive.
Matthews. Yeah, he kept on hustling. He kept dribbling. Got ahead of Pierce and then scooped it underneath his outstretched arm. That's a nice play.
And as you pointed out earlier, that was his good shoulder.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Got the good shoulder, bad shoulder thing. 67-38. Burns, right elbow for an open three, misses. Rebound taken by DaCosta. We approach 12 minutes. DaCosta down low against Notre, puts it up and off, and Burns has the weak side rebound for Radford. Next whistle will take us to the under 12. And Harris is just going to keep on gliding through the lane. Nobody touched him. 69-38. Timeout. 11:58. Gators called it, and there is that media timeout. So Radford up by 31, 69-38. And we're back with more on a Saturday from the Dedman Center after this on the Radford Sports Network and ESPN+. 69-38. Highlanders on top. Truth Harris playing very well for Radford. Got to start. No DeQuan Smith today. Highlanders up big. And Crystal, you had some good stuff with Coach Jordan and Coach Nichols.
Yeah, that's right. When Coach Nichols was at University of Florida, he was looking to recruit a player who was actually coached by Coach T.J. Jordan at that time, and he helped Coach Nichols with acquiring that player. And through that whole involvement, they developed quite an amicable relationship and have become quite close over the years. Their families kind of knowing each other and having that connection.
Here's a three ball by Yates, 69-41. So when Coach Jordan wanted a favor, he wanted to play a D1. He asked Coach Nichols. Jokingly, Dare said he kept bugging me. And I just said, yes, we'll do it when we get back from Cancun on a Sunday. And then here we are. Great experience, great opportunity for this new program here today. And that's going to be a whistle and a travel. Yep, I think that's a good call against Burns. Turnover, there's another one of those turnovers against Radford. That is 10 of them.
This is a mutually beneficial game for both teams. For Notre Dame, again, it's a big experience for your team to come play a D1 opponent. You get to build your program up. For Coach Nichols, you get kind of an opportunity to work on some things that you're struggling with.
Matthews blocked in the lane by Archer. Arch has gotten off to a great start here in 2023-24. Played so well on the road against VCU and JMU in those two losses. JMU game, Radford led over 30 minutes. Got away from them late, but got their balance back in Cancun. Here's Antoine missing a hit-the-key three. And an offensive foul going to be called on Archer. Or no? Yes.
They called it on Archer. I think that was just him working for the ball there.
That's a tough call. It's the same official. It's the same guy.
And I think on this one is one where Justin Archer is just getting penalized for being the bigger, stronger player there.
Yes, maybe see that again here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's a little strange to see that quick whistle. Arch was thought for sure he had been fouled. 10:34 to go. 69-41. Radford has not trailed in the game. They set up another three. It's off the mark, but a good setup that time for Sheikh. High rebound by Antoine, and there goes Truth into the lane, drawing a foul. And lots of fouls. 2 free throws coming for Truth Harris, who used that quickness Darius Nichols talked about.
Yeah, good strong take there. Again, one thing I like about Truth Harris, again, if he puts his shoulder down, he can go left or right and get to the rim pretty much at will.
70-41 as Truth knocks down the free throw. 15 points for Truth Harris. And he makes them both. Crystal?
Yeah, if we're looking at the trends of the game, Radford's trying to keep their assist-to-turnover ratio up. Right now, Radford has 12 assists, 10 turnovers, but also their player fouls. They're trying to stay out of the bonus. They now have 6 fouls already in this half. We talked about that being low, but we also talked about Coach Nichols' goal to keep the Gators under 50 points there, and now at 41, they're only 9 points away from that mark.
Ooh. Nice up and under move, but no finish from Mike Leith, and Antoine hit the deck. 9:53 to go. Did they call a foul on the player on the floor? That's a tough foul. Kid laying there on the floor underneath the basket, right? I mean,
I think that's just tangled up.
Hey, look, he's down on the floor. Antoine comes out. That's
not a foul.
That is a terrible call. I know it benefits Radford, but that's not a good call. That's over officiating a play that didn't need to be blown right there. What's the kid supposed to do right there? Here's Kenyon Giles along the right baseline. 9:42 to go. And now they're calling an offensive foul against Radford.
Yeah, I think KG did as he pivoted, hit him, hit number 21, Jalen Yates. But again, I don't think he had much room. It looked like he was kind of getting hammered there. So that's one where I think you either let him play or call the foul early. Coach Nichols not happy. They are going to go to the camera.
Wow. They're
again.
Going to the monitor.
Yeah, I had a good look at that. There's no chance in the world that's flagrant or anything. He did catch him with the elbow as he was pivoting, but not a lot of room there.
Yeah, there's nothing there, right? It made no sense that was an offensive foul, KG. We called it when it happened, and what they did was go back and correct it because I think they realized it was egregious. So now we've got Radford with the ball, no flagrant, and none of this going on. It's just, like I said, they were looking to call something that didn't need to be called there. So we had the original call right ourselves, and they went back, and now we're back to live action. 71-41, and Turner's going to shoot a three, and he's going to rattle it home. Chandler Turner, very underrated distance shooter, and it's 74-41.
And again, Chandler Turner is that unique player that you kind of forget about. Then you look at the box score, and he has 15 points, and it's just because he does a little bit there, a little bit here, and then it adds up.
The jump shot, and it rolls in. I don't know how Sheath got that one to go in, but it kind of hugged the back of the rim and fell through. 74-43. So to meet Coach Nichols' goals, they have to hold them to just 9 more points, and they turn it over on one end and give it right back on the other. $8:53 to go, 74-43 Radford. Been a long second half. And another quick whistle on that screen. It's an offensive foul that will officially be a turnover. And that's 10 turnovers on Radford.
And again, that's something I've been watching, I've mentioned that several times. Radford's getting a lot of those. That was one that looked pretty good. Maybe he leaned into it just a little bit. But again, at this level, there's, going to be contact on every screen. And sometimes it's very physical. Just because it's a physical screen does not mean it's a legal screen.
Layup off the mark by Yates. Neesmith rebounds. Long three by Burns is good from the left corner. 77-43. I believe this is now the largest lead, 34 points. Matthews, right side, scoops it out. Another three. This one's off the mark. 7:57 to go. Burns trying to hit another one right side. Left it short. Rebound taken by Notre Dame of Maryland. There's a long three, a shot put three that time from Sheath.
Tell you what, Sheath is not afraid to shoot the ball. He hit a very tough one in the first half. He's got a green light from anywhere.
That was an NBA range three right there. 77-43. Next whistle takes us to the under 8 media. Neesmith in the lane scores. That's a nice move by TJ. He's been showing that off. 79-43. It's a 36-point Radford lead.
And that play was tougher than it looked. That's him going to his right shoulder and shifting his body to get a shot up instead of a little baby hook with the left.
Nice setup in the left corner and a shot off the mark, but a good setup from Leith over to James. He just didn't make the shot. 6:51 to go. They get it down low to Arch for another layup. That's easy for Radford. 81-43. So the Radford's starting to spread it out now and trying to keep them under 50. That's the, if you will, the only drama left in this game. That was the goal. You heard Crystal Hubbard talk with Coach Nichols. There's a missed layup. Rebound by Truth. Down the floor to Burns. He's going to go up. Double clutch miss. Rebound by Archer, and that's too easy for Arch.
And that may have been Arch's easiest bucket of the year.
The lead is 40. Timeout by Notre Dame of Maryland, and that will serve as our under 8 media. Now it's all about getting this final 6:18 in the books. 83-43. It's all Highlanders on a Sunday. 43. Chandler Turner can hit the jumpers. He's very, very good when he decides that he wants to get square and go, and he doesn't hesitate. That shot of his, he's been working on it.
Well, how about Chandler Turner? Perfect in this game. 6 for 6 from the field, 3 for 3 from 3.
Subtly done.
No turnovers.
Crystal Hubbard, more stuff on Coach Jordan.
Yeah, I had a chance to catch up with Coach Jordan before the game, talk about, this is his first season as a head coach in college. He had a couple years assistant in Lehigh, a couple of Susquehanna, and asked him what he brought to the table, because he did play as well in college. I asked him what he brought to the table, and he said, that whole players coach idiom is a little overstated, but he does believe in an open door policy and good communication with the team. He tells them confrontation's okay, and he exercises that open door policy, which we see that with Coach Nichols as well, and I think that serves well for teams, as it allows them to have some ownership over the play.
Well, he's doing a good job. I know he's so excited meeting him before the game. He's so honored to be the guy to build this program, right? I mean, he's built this staff. He's got his brother on staff. I mean, you can tell those guys are in cohesion with one another. It's going to be interesting to watch their first year and how it develops.
Yeah, and again, just think about all the stuff. This isn't like a video game where you just go out and play the games. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes as far as building your program, fundraising, recruiting.
Yeah, and he said one of the biggest things that he's focusing on, it reminds him that they are students first and athletes second. So that's one of the things that he's really trying to kind of key in on. He loves to push tempo. That's one of his philosophies as far as coaching. He does know that every game's different, so they'll adjust, but that's one of the things he wants to get into his team. But mainly just culture is what he's starting with, and then he'll kind of build out from there.
Sure. Makes perfect sense. Thanks, Crystal. Meanwhile, Quan Johnson continues just to be outstanding. He's got 22. He came up a little gimpy there. I hope he's okay. My goodness. He took it away on one end, went down and scored, and he got the and one opportunity, and he knocks down the free throw. He's got a game-high 23 points. And, okay, so if Radford's going to keep him to 50 or below, well, they got to shut him out the final 5:43.
Ooh, that'd be impressive.
5:35 to go.
I'm going to take the over on 50 here.
Look at you. Boy, that's bold. David Vidor.
I have a risk taker
out there. There's Vidor. Oh, he had it blocked in the lane, and you don't want to foul there. You just get down the other end of the floor. (83-49). Radford was up by 40. It's now down to 34. There's a block in the lane. And Harris, as Burns fell to the floor, he's okay. And Truth continues his career day. He's got 18. 85-49.
That was not an easy finish there from Truth Harris. He had to have a little spin on the ball there. Tough angle.
4:45 on the game clock. And another turnover. Tried to go back door. Burns is there. Gets it down the floor to Pierce for the dunk. That's a nice pass. And the slam by Pierce. And it's 87-49.
A good find there by Burns. He knew he had him the whole way. He was patient and let the...
And an offensive foul. Another one of those. Checking into the game, Jaden Holland and Mike Leith for Notre Dame of Maryland.
Tell you what, it is just so hard now in college basketball to set a ball screen.
Well, with the new rules, it definitely is, yeah.
And again, that's, a play that you see multiple times per possession, so coaches are going to have to get even more particular in teaching, just the fundamentals of, had a screen without fouling.
And Walters goes in, gets fouled, and that's going to take us to our final media timeout. It's all about getting this one in the books now. 87-49, the Highlanders on top. Final media timeout, free throws for Walters when we come back here on the Radford Sports Radio Network and on ESPN+.
That's going to have this team prepared.
Trenton Walters on the free throw line. And he makes the first. 88-49. Radford trying to match their largest lead. They've had a 40-point lead a couple of times, and now 3 times. 89-49. And now no more media timeouts, which means we're getting close to the end of this one, and you just hope everybody stays healthy going forward. Castleberry, Vidor back out there for Radford. There's a nice spin move and a shot that rolls out. Rebound picked up off the floor by Walters. Highlanders got him at 49. Remember, 50 is the magic number. Burns going to try a long 3 and hit it. Kyle Burns shooting the ball well. He's now got his high of 9 points as a Highlander. 92-49. 3:23 to go. Matthews trying to get the 50. Misses, and the ball was saved by Pierce.
Rick, you're into this thing right now.
Well, I mean, this is I mean, team trying to finish it off here.
This is Big South Tournament Rick Watson right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's Walters into the lane, goes up
nice
and
hands.
Got blocked out of bounds. The thing about what I like, too, about the Radford players, they're not trying to just milk the clock. You know, they're trying to still run the offense. Because you have guys out here that don't see a lot of, playing time. Vidor, Castleberry trying to get in the flow. And Hunter can shoot the ball. So these guys are out here playing the game. We're under 3 minutes.
Still working on things to the last minute.
Walters. Pull-up jump shot is good again. Trenton continuing his high as a Highlander in terms of points. He's got 8. You're going to get a lot of that in a game like this. 94-49, 2:40 to go. And now here's the drama again for the Radford defense.
Oh, nice move. Oh, and even
Pierce
better block.
Blocked the shot. Burns picks it up. Walters out on the break, goes up and scores. He's in double digits for the first time. 96-49. 2:18 to go.
And look at Coach Nichols here on the sidelines. He is locked in right now.
That's what I'm
even
saying.
More than you are.
He is. They've kept this going from about 5:40 or so on the clock. 2:05 to go. This might be the pivotal possession right here. 5 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Vidor can't quite get there, and 1. And Darius Nichols with a little bit of a grin on his face as he walks down to the bench. I wanted to watch his reaction. They kept it going for almost 4 full minutes after they got on 49, and it was ended there on the layup from Marquise James. 96-51. And he makes the free throw. They've done that well, too. They make their free throws.
How about Radford on the free throw line tonight? 14 of 15.
Yeah, he needed a good night like that. So now the only drama left is, will Radford get that century mark, I guess, right? That 96-52. That's what we're looking at. High mark already in points this year. Can they get 4 more? Leith working one-on-one against Walters. They're almost the exact same size. Matthews with 9 to shoot, minute 20 in the game. Goes into the lane and got fouled.
I don't like that one.
No, that's not a good call. But in any event, Matthews going to be on the free throw line. Yeah, we'll see this again after the first free throw. We'll see what you think, Cole, when we watch the replay.
I don't need to see the replay. I already know that I don't like the call.
All right, well, we're going to see it anyway because the staff's been working hard to get it. Here we go. Yeah, that's...
I think he was just there.
.96-53, and Matthews with 3 points.
Look at KG on the bench talking right now. You like to see that.
Nice feed down low. Walters to Pierce for the dunk. 98-53. And we're under a minute. Stations on our radio network, stay tuned for the Stiefel postgame report. Duffy out front with 16 to shoot. 98-53. Long jump shot taken off the mark. And rebound by Walters.
And what that means is we're going to see a shot attempt here, Rick.
For 100. Correct. Oh, Bernsey wants to take it. Yeah, Bernsey gets Radford to 100 with the layup. And it's 100-53. There you go. That was the other drama. Burns breaking out offensively in this game. Huh? 9 points. About a second and a half difference in the two clocks. And Duffy turns it over, and Radford will inbound and dribble it out, and that's going to do it. Thanks to the crew here on a Sunday, and then a big road game on Wednesday. Then there's a 3-game homestand coming up for Radford as the final score here today. The Highlanders 100 and Notre Dame of Maryland 53. Radford's won 3 in a row, 5-3 on the season. Tomorrow, the game